Today on People Now, Hollywood and fans paying tribute to TV icon Charlotte Rae following her death.
Demi Lovato breaks her silence for the first time following her overdose.
Olympic star Rippon revealing the #1 hero in his life.
Alyssa Milano's new show, Insatiable, is at the center of some controversy. Alyssa is here setting the record straight.
Real Housewives of Orange County newcomer Emily Simpson is here talking about all the drama this season. Plus, her sister joins us as well, talking about being a surrogate for Emily's 3 children.
It's all today on People Now.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. So good to see you. Now, for some of us, Sunday nights, I don't know about you, they can be very stressful, kind of the Sunday scaries creep in, right?
It's a thing.
It is a thing. You know, the weekends are never long enough. Anyway, but with the season premiere of one of our favorite reality shows last night, it was sort of hard to dread Sunday. Let's be real.
Yeah, and so we are talking about Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Of course.
Made its return Sunday night. There was some serious sister drama. The girls did not hold back, taking some harsh jabs at each other during the premiere. We want to know, how do you handle fights with your siblings?
You can tweet us your answers with the hashtag #PeopleNow. We may just read your response right here on the show. We'll touch upon that and what went down on the episode and check in on all those responses a little later. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Watch.
Blair, you can't change the way he was. But you can give him a chance now to do something good.
The actress behind Mrs. Garrett and her iconic words of wisdom, Charlotte Rae, has died. Best known as the wise and lovable house mother on Different Strokes and The Facts of Life, Rae died Sunday at her home in Los Angeles. She was 92. Rae revealed that she'd been diagnosed with bone cancer at the end of April 2017, 7 years after she also fought pancreatic cancer. At the time, she admitted that she was wrestling with the decision to undergo treatment or not, saying in part, quote, "I love life. I've had a wonderful one already." Now, after the news broke of Rae's death late Sunday, co-stars from both the actress's beloved series were quick to pay tribute on social media. Todd Bridges, who portrayed Willis on Different Strokes, writing, "You were loved by everyone on our show, and you were loved by everyone on The Facts of Life. We'll miss you. Rest in peace, my friend." And Facts of Life star Mindy Cohn wrote that she had a heavy heart following Rae's death, going on to add, quote, "She was my champion, a teacher, a proud example of the tenacity and perseverance needed to live an actor's life. I love you, Char. I will continue to make you proud." Mindy's castmate Kim Fields, who played Tootie on the sitcom, wrote in part, quote, "Sorry, no words at the moment, just love and tears, and yeah, smiles." Now, meanwhile, Lisa Whelchel, who played Blair on the same show, posted this sweet throwback photo of with the caption, "Thank you, Charlotte, for 40 years of friendship and love. You will be missed." Now, Rae got her start doing theater and radio before breaking into television, and her career took off with the role of kooky and kind housekeeper Edna Garrett in Different Strokes. When she realized she had become such a popular character, Rae herself actually proposed the spinoff that became The Facts of Life, a sitcom about a girls' boarding school and their house mother. Mrs. G helped guide the girls through every issue imaginable, from depression to dating, AIDS to alcohol. Rae shared many of her Hollywood experiences, her own, including 44 years of sobriety and the discovery that her husband was bisexual, all in her memoir, The Facts of My Life, which released in 2015. Guys, People has confirmed that Demi Lovato was released from Cedars-Sinai late Saturday evening. Just 1 day later, Lovato breaking her silence for the first time following her overdose on July 24th. In a message shared to her Instagram account on Sunday, Lovato writes in part, quote, "I want to thank God for keeping me alive and well," before praising her fans for standing by her, as well as her family, her team, and the hospital staff for being by her side throughout the whole ordeal. Now, in the message, Lovato candidly says, quote, "What I've learned is that this illness is not something that disappears or fades with time. It is something I must continue to overcome and have not done yet." She goes on to add, "I now need time to heal and focus on my sobriety and road to recovery. The love you have all shown me will never be forgotten, and I look forward to the day where I can say I came out on the other side." Now, Lovato signed the note with the simple line, "I will keep fighting." Lovato's heartfelt post came days after sources told People that the singer would enter a drug treatment center following her release from LA's Cedars-Sinai, where she'd been hospitalized following that incident. One source explains Demi left the hospital over the weekend. She will get continued care at an inpatient rehab facility. A source adds she wants to be sober, she wants to get help, and she understands that it will take a lot of work and commitment to stay healthy, but this is what she wants. Lovato was rushed to the hospital on the morning of July 24th following the overdose at her Hollywood Hills home. And we, of course, will keep you updated on People.com as this story continues to develop. Now watch this.
Oh my God.
So you would honestly think that we have more jobs, so work around our schedule. You do whatever the you want to do, and you don't do shit. So be accommodating to the people that actually do shit.
Hang on, guys. Keeping Up with the Kardashians returned to our TV screen Sunday night, and boy, oh boy, was the drama at an all-time high. Let's break it all down, shall we? Kim and Kourtney got in a heated argument over the family's Christmas card photo shoot, as you do. Kourtney refused to budge on her schedule, causing Kim to really let the sparks fly. The KKW beauty founder immediately snapped at her older sister. She yelled, quote, "No one wants you in the bleeping shoot. I need Kourtney not to be so bleeping annoying, with a stick up her bleep. Like she bleeping runs this, because she doesn't. She's the least exciting to look at."
Wow.
Yes, she went there. I think that's just how she said it. You could feel it. The epic fight continued over the phone. Kourtney sobbing to sister Khloe, saying, quote, "I'm not here to be mistreated by my bleeping bleep family." Kim saying, "I'm the least interesting to look at. Who even speaks like that? You guys have really different values than me. I choose to be a mother to my 3 kids." Now, despite Kim rearranging her schedule to accommodate her sister, tensions continue to linger, if you can believe that. Kourtney refused to talk things out over the phone, even went so far as to not show up to Kim's baby shower. Yikes. You don't forget about stuff like that. The sisters continued the conversation on Twitter, Kourtney writing, "Watching this fight actually gives me chills." She later added, "We're ride or die, but I don't accept the way we criticize and judge each other anymore. My personal growth doesn't allow it." Kind of drew the line. Kim tweeted her own 2 cents about the fight, simply stating, "I just can't, honestly. I just can't." Whew, I don't know if you guys could keep up with all that. I did my best to channel it and to funnel it. We are in for quite the ride this season either way. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, of course, airs Sunday nights on E! But if you don't watch it, you can always come here the next day
Hey, Jeremy,
for a full reenactment.
You are the least interesting to look at.
Thanks a lot. I don't talk like that.
All right, you
because I'm
guys.
trying to get my life together. All right.
We are kicking off Star Tracks with some very exciting baby news. So we have a big surprise that Kenan Thompson and wife Christina welcomed baby number 2 last week, a little girl named Gianna Michelle. According to TMZ, Gianna weighed 6 pounds, 6 ounces at birth and arrived Tuesday night in Florida. The couple also share 4-year-old daughter Georgia Marie, who pops up on her mama's Instagram quite a lot. What a cutie. Both Kenan and Christina kept quiet about the first part of the pregnancy, but the proud mom happily posted on Insta 5 days before her due date, writing, "We have less than 5 days until this little girl is due, and I'm just so excited." And that dad life seems to suit the SNL comedian, who recently opened up to People about the joys of parenting, saying kids are hilarious. They say the darndest things, but that's just because they don't really know what they're saying, and that just makes much more funness happen. Big congrats, Kenan and Christina. And speaking of happy couples, looks like things are getting pretty serious between Chris Pratt and Katherine Schwarzenegger. The two were spotted leaving church together on Sunday and were all smiles while saying goodbye to their friends before hopping in the actor's Tesla and driving off. Pratt kept his look casual in a dark button-down and jeans, while Katherine rocked a striped maxi dress with a jean jacket. After their morning at church, the couple grabbed dinner with Katherine's family, as her brother Patrick Schwarzenegger posted a video from the meal to his Instagram story. The video shows the duo seated at the end of the table, and a voice can be heard asking Pratt if he wants any more food, which he declines. The couple then starts laughing at something the person next to them did. We're tracking all of this, okay? We're very invested. This is Pratt's first relationship following his split with Anna Faris in August of 2017, after almost 9 years of marriage. And after Chris and Katherine were spotted out a few times with his 5-year-old son Jack, a source told People, quote, "They are spending every day together, and Katherine has met Jack several times. They seem to be getting more serious." All right, if you've ever taken a picture with Baby Spice, you might want to double check that it isn't, in fact, Blake Lively, okay? That's right, one Spice Girls fan, Bria Madrid, shared a throwback photo from her very first concert where she thought she'd gotten a picture with Emma Bunton, but found out it was actually Blake Lively in disguise. The actress shared the photo on her Instagram on Saturday, captioned, "Pretending to be someone else since 1997. She then thanked Bria for sharing the photo and said that she was sorry, not sorry, for tricking her into thinking she was Baby Spice. And the Spice Girl herself approved of the look-alike outfit, commenting on Blake's photo, quote, "So cute, you're rocking those pigtails." And Blake was quick to fangirl back, saying, "I'm officially dead, forever bowing down to you. I cannot believe you know who I am. This will never be normal." And we are keeping our fingers crossed that Blake revives this look for the potential Spice Girls reunion tour next year. I think maybe it's gonna happen. Those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, stay with us. Real Housewives of Orange County star Emily Simpson is back with her sister Sarah, who was her surrogate. They are sharing their story together. Plus, Alyssa Milano joins us live to share her take on all the drama surrounding her new Netflix series Insatiable and what viewers can really expect. Stick around for that.
All right, everyone, to recap last night's drama-filled season premiere of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, we've been asking, how do you handle fights with your siblings? So let's check in on what you guys have to say.
Lisa writes, usually by taking a step back to cool down, then remember that it's not worth it. Family until the end. I like that.
Not worth it. Allie adds, I try to put myself in their shoes and figure out why they're upset. Plus, it's always best to be the bigger person and apologize.
Always a little spiteful to do that, too.
Yeah,
You're calling
I know.
yourself the bigger person. Anyway, it's all loaded.
Well, it looks like we have a very mature audience out there so far. We'll be back to take one last look at your answers for question of the day. But for now, back to this.
So, guys, watch.
How long have you been married?
9 years. He was my boss.
He was your boss?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know, we just talked so much, and then one day he was like, do you want to get married? And I was like, okay. And well, actually, it was through Google chat, I think. He was like, do you want to get married?
Really? You guys hadn't been banging beforehand?
No. My husband's Mormon, no.
So he's like straight arrow?
Yeah. Shane is actually half Persian, but he's also Mormon, which is kind of an odd combination, but that's what he is.
So there was no banging?
That is Emily Simpson, the latest woman to join the Real Housewives of Orange County. When she stopped by, we had to get all the details on her unconventional love story with husband Shane. Here's what she told us.
After he and his first wife got divorced, we still remained friends, and we chatted a lot, talked a lot, chatted, you know, through Google Chat. This is prior to, like, I had a BlackBerry at the time.
Yeah,
It's not like
right.
we were texting or anything. And then, like, it just kind of progressed into, like, a little more flirtatious Google Chats, and then it just became like, do you want to get married? And I was like, okay.
So were you even dating at the time?
No, like we never like dated or went out on a date. Like we were friends, and he was funny, and he was a good dad.
Yeah.
Like I knew these positive things about him, and I was 32, and I was like, what? Okay, yeah, let's get married.
Wow.
It really was like a huge leap of faith, but I mean.
Well, I guess you had to know that you both were at the same place in terms of expectations.
Right, and there were things that I asked him. There were some like deal breakers that I asked him. I was like, okay, because he has 2 children. So I was like, you know, what are your expectations with me, like as a stepmom, and how often do you see your kids and all that kind of stuff. And I knew he was a really good dad because he was very, very into his daughters and spending time with them. So that was a huge, I mean, that's a huge check mark, right? I mean, good dad. And then it was, you know, he's Mormon. So I was fine with him being Mormon, but I asked him like,
Do you expect me to be
do you
Mormon?
expect me to be Mormon? And he said no. So I was like, okay, well then that's cool. We can do that. And so really, I felt like once you got those out of the way, it was like, okay, yeah.
So there you go. But how is she keeping her marriage intact under the strain of reality cameras? Take a look at what she said.
Everybody knows about the whole like housewife curse. I mean, like how many people have gotten divorced on the show or after the show? So I went into it just very, like we were solid, and then we went to therapy. Like the entire time we were filming, and just to always make sure we were on the same page.
That's a really good idea. That's like
was.
Housewife tip 101 for the show. Go to therapy the whole time.
Exactly. That's what I would tell any new housewife coming in if they're married and like they really want to keep their marriage solid through this. Like really go to, I mean seriously, go to therapy every week. It's nice to have that third party.
Having my jaw wired shut lost me more than just my summer vacation.
Oh, this is like every great high school movie ever made.
Now, I could be the former fatty who turned into a brain, or an athlete, or a princess. No, I'd rather have revenge.
Guys, bullied high schooler Patty is out for revenge on everyone that did her wrong in the new Netflix dark comedy Insatiable.
And we are live with one of the show stars, Alyssa Milano. Thanks for joining us.
Sure, of course.
It's
Thank
so
you
good
for
to see
having me.
Yeah, we're excited to talk about this. Let's start with this. The show stirred up some controversy. You've been talking about it. This is a known thing. People have accused it of fat shaming, taking a toxic view on body image. There's a petition out there about it. What do you make about this? Do you understand where the criticism's coming from?
I do, for sure, and you never want to take someone's emotions away from them. Obviously, it invoked emotion, and I think that, you know, we all feel that this show is so much more than what the trailer was, and I personally felt it very interesting that the show is about don't judge a book by its cover, and yet people were judging 12 hours of television by, you know,
It's trailer.
a 1 minute and 28-second trailer. But, you know, obviously, being the person that I am, I never want to hurt anyone. So I wouldn't be involved with something that I felt was hurtful to people.
Yeah.
And it's more about what happens when you do shame someone and how that trauma affects their lives. And it's a comedy and it's satirical. And I think that that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and you play the wife of a lawyer turned pageant coach. You kind of becomes a mentor for Patty. And you've said like you won't apologize for it. You believe in the message. Are you disappointed when you get this kind of backlash, or in a way, are you happy that it gets people talking about the project?
You know, I think I'm happy when it gets people talking about the issue.
Right, yeah.
And I think that is the most important thing to me, because I think we live in a world where shaming is part of our everyday culture, whether we're fat shaming or slut shaming or mom shaming, or, you know, I didn't post a picture of my daughter on Instagram the other day because she had a pacifier in her mouth, and I just didn't want to deal with the mom,
so quick.
the mom shaming.
Right.
Right? So, and I think also when you think about entertainment and when you think about TV, everyone brings their own emotion with it when they watch it, right? Like, you're gonna take away something totally different than you, and that's the same thing with any art, songs, anything. But in its best, I think entertainment should be a conversation instigator. And obviously, the show already is a conversation.
Yeah, it certainly
and I
has already
think it
happened.
will continue to do that. And in my view, it's so much better to have these discussions out loud than to sweep them under the rug.
And hopefully people will watch and then be able to get the full picture of what's being said and what the show's saying. We were all, of course, introduced to you when you were a teen. Who's the Boss, right? Like, it's so long ago that you were actually on that show from 11 to 19, critical years. You really grew up in the public eye in that way. What about this particular project resonated with you in terms of dealing with self-esteem and body image and all those types of things?
I mean, I think that there is a theme for every single person to be able to relate to on this show. We deal with, and they're hurtful themes. They're not easy themes to deal with. We have body image. We have what it means to win. And to what extent will you go to win? How our appearances really affect our interactions on a daily basis. Family issues, mother-daughter issues, alcoholism. We deal with a lot of really deep things. So I could imagine myself being a part of something that was able to mean something to someone. And it's been such an honor at this point in my career to be able to play this character.
Did you have pieces of advice for any of your younger co-stars that, you know, you've been there and know what it's like to be in the public eye and grow up?
I've never wanted to give advice.
No? Okay.
Really? Because I would believe anything you said.
No.
Like, tell me.
No, I feel like everyone's on their own path and their own journey, you know, so they need to go through it. And I look at Debbie and I see, you know, obviously some parallels to the beginning of her career and how I started, but I would never interject my First of all, she's way cooler than I ever was at that age. That's A. And two, it's just, this is her journey, you know, this is her point. And part of me is so protective of her because I see so much of what I went through at that age and when I was transitioning from a child actor to sort of being taken seriously as an adult actor. And I really think that this is the project that's going to be that bridge for her. Yeah. She's so absolutely wonderful in it. So.
You've been so involved this past year, launching the Me Too movement, supporting Time's Up. Obviously, your efforts are completely appreciated and kind of starting that conversation. How does Insatiable kind of continue that conversation? Because there's a lot of strong women in the project.
It's so much, the show itself is so much about empowering and empowering women and finding your own truth, but also our amazing writer, showrunner, creator, Lauren Gussis, who's standing in the corner right now, is really just so much about giving us the strength and security to be the best that we can be. And I think so often when you think of women, you think, oh, we're all in competition with each other. And through Lauren, the ability to be my best came through. But also through Coralie, through this character, because she's so coming to her own truth throughout the show. And these are all really hard things to portray as an actress that, you know, I had to dive deep into the hard stuff. Yeah. and just to feel that sort of empowerment enabled me to feel confident enough to even send the Me Too tweet, which we were shooting while I sent that tweet.
Oh, you're shooting the show?
So that was around the same time. Wow.
Yeah, and we were all commiserating. It was that Harvey Weinstein week, and all of the actresses were talking about how there was no one that they had known that hadn't gone through some sort of either sexual harassment or abuse or assault. And I thought it was such a sisterhood moment, but also so heartbreaking to hear that. And that's what sort of I came up with the idea for that tweet through that
whole experience.
camaraderie.
Yeah. Let me ask you about this. You have a young son and daughter that they've joined you at marches and rallies and things that are near and dear to your heart. How do you go about talking to them about important issues that you care about, like body image and feminism and bullying and things like that?
Well, I'm in a very lucky position because I have a girl and a boy. So I'm able to teach these lessons to them both on a daily basis. First of all, I'm a big believer in telling them the truth, first of all, and not hiding anything from them. And I do feel that we are in such a time right now that there's so much chaos and turmoil, it's very hard to shelter them from that. So we have very deep conversations about what's happening. But also body image, I feel like girls in sports, you know, my daughter plays baseball. She's the only little girl on her little trotters team. She's 3, and it's all about, like, let me see your muscles. How strong are you? You got to be strong to hit that ball, and you know, really instilling that the body is we eat for fuel, and the body is to be strong.
I love that.
It's crazy how different it was. And
I know.
It's like
so
I'm
different.
so happy that it's getting to a point where we want to be strong for those reasons.
Yeah, and then also just being able to teach those lessons. Like my son is reading now, and my daughter doesn't read, but my daughter gets to pick books every other night. And my son keeps saying to me, I don't understand, why does she get to pick? She doesn't read, Mom. Why does she get to pick the books? And I say to him, because what she wants and what she feels matters in life and in this house, and she has to have her voice. Even though she's the baby, she's got to find her voice and her strength and what she loves and what she likes. So we have to respect that.
It's so important for you to frame it.
So for us to frame it, and also to be able to teach them those dynamics of because it is tricky. And you don't want to raise your little girl to be too hard, and you don't want to raise your little boy to be too. It's a very fine balance of empowerment and allowing them to be their true selves.
Respecting each other, respecting other opinions and things like that. Look, before you go, you've been very outspoken about a lot of your political stances and things of that nature. When people in Hollywood do this and speak out publicly, there's obviously a lot of backlash, no matter what you say, right? Either way. Have you felt the sting of that in terms of your career? I mean, there have been other people who have, speak out publicly about politics and then they could maybe point to some other, career move going a certain way. I
mean, I just really believe that if my integrity stays intact and I stay true to who I am and what I believe in, which is equality and that every child deserves a healthy childhood, healthy, happy childhood. I have to stay true to that. And if it means I'm not going to work in this industry, then I'm not going to work in this industry. But at least I can go to bed knowing that I fought the good fight. And also, I've been an activist since I was 15 years old. So
it's not a new issue for you.
For me, I don't know any other way to function. Like, I can't not be vocal about issues. So that would be disingenuous. So I have to be, organic to myself. And right now, there's a lot to fight for.
Yeah. So great to hear
from you. And thank you also for using your platform and voice to bring up those issues and everything.
Thank you very much. I hope you don't get trolls now.
Yeah. You guys check out Insatiable. The series drops on Netflix this Friday, August 10th.
All right, guys, switching gears to this. Olympian Adam Rippon is opening up about his hero, his mom, how she made a huge impact on how he lives his life. It's all in this week's People Now Heroes, sponsored by Extra Gum. Watch this.
If I had to describe my mom in 3 words, the words I would use would be funny, selfless, and strong. My hero is definitely my mom. I don't think I've ever run into anyone in my entire life who has dedicated herself to other people the way that my mom has. My parents got divorced maybe more than 10 years ago. And, it was really hard. We were all pretty young. But my mom was definitely so strong during all of that time. And I know that before my parents got divorced, I thought I was gonna have to quit skating. Skating is a super expensive sport, and my mom didn't know she was gonna be able to help pay for it. We come from really like humble beginnings and a humble background. And I know my mom refinanced the house to help pay for the lessons. My mom has given up so much so that I could achieve my dreams, and I'm so appreciative of that. But as the oldest of her 6 kids, I've seen her do that for every single one of her kids. I knew everything that she was doing while it was going on, but now being a little bit older and being further away from it, I really see now everything that she went through to just make sure that I just had a chance. She did everything. She did everything she could in her power to make sure that I had that opportunity. I remember when I came out to my mom, I said, you know, Mom, I just want you to know, I know that you'll still love me, because I did know that. I knew that nothing would change. And I said, you know, Mom, there's just something I want to share with you. I'm gay. And my mom looked at me and she said, I know. And I was like, you did? She's like, yeah, you were inside me for 9 months and I'm your mom and I know everything. I think the greatest lesson that I've taken away from my mom is to never limit your dreams. And having that mentality has kind of led me to where I am right now.
All right, we've been talking to Real Housewives of Orange County star Emily Simpson, and a big part of her storyline on the show is that she used her sister as a surrogate. Her sister Sarah joins us now. Hello.
Hi, Sarah. Oh my goodness, well, I'm so excited to talk to you about this. So she was your surrogate on all 3 of your children.
Or you can call her a surrogate.
Surrogate. Oh,
Yeah.
Surrogate, I got it. So Sarah, you offered to be, you know, to be a surrogate. Did you accept the offer right away? Was this something that you had to convince her to do?
No, at the point where I actually volunteered and said, just stop trying, I'll do it, I was really mostly concerned about her physical health, her mental health. She had gone through so much. And so I kind of was just like, stop, I'll do it, you know.
She actually offered to do it. I had done in vitro myself, and I had been pregnant with twins, and I was pregnant with a boy and a girl, and I carried them all the way to 4 months. And then I lost them. I went into labor and I lost them. And this was right before Thanksgiving. And she actually came out to be with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Her family came out for Thanksgiving. So I had just lost them like a couple weeks before. And we were talking about what happened. And I was saying I wasn't sure where to go from here. I didn't know if I should try again myself. I was kind of lost. Like, I didn't know what to do next. And she was like, just stop. Like, I'll do it for you. I'll do it. And I was like, be careful what you're offering.
Yeah.
Because, are you being serious? And she was like, no, I'm serious. And,
Yeah.
And then that's.
So then I think we had a conversation with her fertility doctor that she had been working with, and she said his eyes lit up and he said, you'll be so much more successful with a surrogate.
Wow. And so, so you do it the first time and it's 1 baby. The second time around it's twins. So, I mean, what was that like when you heard it was twins?
I cried.
Yeah.
Like, of course. It was fine. And honestly, carrying twins, it was just kind of, everything was just more intense.
She was so
double the morning sickness.
Yeah, she was huge.
Yeah, double the belly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would imagine, look, you're obviously already close. This would not have even been on the table had you not already had a great relationship. But how did this experience bond the two of you maybe even more?
I feel like, I mean, we were as close as you can get, I felt like, but this experience was just, it was so beautiful for me because, I mean, going through the trauma that I went through and just the dark place that I was in, but then to have my sister be the one that actually carries my children, and then for me to feel so safe with her being the one, because I knew she was taking such good care of them. Like, she was eating so healthy and not, you know what I mean? And, and we would talk every single day, so I felt very connected. Even though I couldn't carry the children myself, I felt very connected to what she felt like and what she was doing. And so.
And we visited a few times during each pregnancy. She would come to Ohio and stay with me for a little bit. And then my biggest fear was that I was, going to go into labor and she wasn't there. So she made sure she was in Ohio probably a month before I gave birth each time.
Yeah.
So she was there and we were ready.
You also have your own child.
I do.
And so what was the reaction of your child to sort of this process?
She was 5 and 7.
Okay.
So each time I gave birth. So I explained it to her that her Aunt Emily's tummy was broken. You had to explain it in little kid terms.
Yeah.
And so she got it, and so I said, I'm gonna do this, and she calls Annabelle her sister cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
They're very close because Sarah just has the one daughter, so she's an only child, but I feel like she feels very connected to my children, and so it's more like siblings. That's why she calls them sister cousins. So it's very cute.
I love that. And it's a special family.
It is, yeah.
My question is actually my sister has talked about she would be my surrogate just because she wants to be pregnant really badly. But
she doesn't want her own kids.
Yeah. How do you repay your sister? Like, was there any sort of deal like that, or you just did it?
No, it's just, I mean, she did it because she was my sister, and I think she knew that if the situation was reversed, I would have done the same thing for her, no problem.
Yeah.
It just happened that she had the amazing uterus and mine sucked, so that's how it works.
I feel like if you ever get in a fight, you have that on her. I carried your baby.
Well, I'm waiting for her kids to grow up. I can always be like, I brought you into this world.
I can take you out of it.
Yeah.
So the kids are still young, right?
Yes,
so
very
5
young.
and then the 3-year-old twins.
3, yeah.
I know that at least the 5-year-old may be getting to the point of being able to understand some of this. What's the reaction, or how do you go about talking about it?
Well, you know what? I have never made it a secret. I always wanted them to know exactly how they came to be and how important their Aunt Sarah is to them and in their life. So I actually, in Annabelle's room, I have a picture of Sarah pregnant with her in a frame, and then that way we talk about it, and I say, this is you in your aunt's belly. Mommy's belly was broken. But I always say, but I'm your mom, because I don't want to hear the, like, you're not my mom. So, I always try to explain, like, I'm your mom, but you just lived in Sarah's belly.
Yeah.
So, so I just feel like just being open about it from the very beginning is just the best thing. And then they just grow up and then it's just normal,
That makes a lot of sense.
And you've spoken on the show about wanting more kids.
I do, yeah.
So, Sarah, are you on board to do this process
I think
again?
my quote was, the oven's closed.
Hey, I wanted to ask you this. I know, just thinking about when my wife went through the process having the babies, obviously there's a real emotional, a chemical connection to that child.
Right.
You had your own child, and then these. Was there a difference in the way you felt about those kids?
Yes, there is a difference. I mean, it's definitely not like having my own child, but I do feel a very special bond to them, especially with the twins. And I think I was just very in tune with my body because carrying twins was something so different and unique. And so those little boys just have my heart.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh,
just love them so
and
much.
like they won't see her for a long time because she's in Ohio and I'm in California. But when she comes out to Ohio, I don't know if they
California?
I mean, California. I don't know if they just automatically feel like a very close bond to her, but they just sit on her lap and they follow her everywhere, and it's so sweet. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So great to have you both. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Love those ladies. All right, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.